going to talk to you about LLIT, Lian Luo Smart Limited. Um, basically, I noticed this stock yesterday, and I've noticed it previously before. Like I noticed it was rising. At that time, I didn't really think much of it. It looked like a random stock name, but then recently I went on StockTwits and I noticed some people mentioning that it's going to merge with Newegg. I'll talk about the press release soon. And basically, yeah, that's huge news. That's crazy. I love Newegg. I've used their website before to buy stuff. Um, that's crazy. This this stock only has 1.78 million float. The short float is 15.23%, which means that potentially there could be some like short squeezes, I guess. I don't really use the short float, so maybe someone can provide in the comments below, how do you use short float? Is this number even accurate on FinViz, or do you prefer like something that updates like more regularly or something like that? So anyways, the stock actually went up to, I think I've done this before, so I would say that like it's actually pretty realistic to expect something around the previous rise. So like maybe we will see $8 again, and it's at 6.3 right now, so who knows. Here you can see they did a reverse split, 1 for 8, and basically that means that their stock was really low and they needed to be higher, so they did a reverse split. They got instead of a stock split, you get more shares out of it, right? So in reverse split, there's now less shares. So they had less of they have Class B shares and they have Class A shares. We're looking at Class A shares. That's what trades on the Nasdaq. The Class B shares, I will talk about them soon. So basically, yeah. So they announced their stock split here on this day, on the 23rd. So stock fell, and then during the weekend, I guess. Let's see. I didn't even check the day. But this is October, right? Yeah, on the weekend. So on Saturday, they're like, okay, we're merging with Newegg. So the stock went crazy high, and then it just fell. Man, I wish I knew about this earlier. But anyways, we can still talk about it, and I still think it's useful to know. Because they haven't actually closed the merger. So it's just a plan to enter a merger. And now, why is this good to know? Because, and like, how does this help? So I looked at Torch not too long ago. So Torch is a company, another ticker that trades on the Nasdaq, and it's like TRCH. Basically, they merged with this company called Metamaterial, and they were like planning the merger, right? And then eventually they did merge with the company, and the share price went up. So like very basic common sense here. If they merge with Newegg, the share price will go up. So let me get into it. So it says the company and Newegg will have announced that they'll enter into an agreement and plan of merger. It says stockholders of Newegg will become majority shareholders of LLIT as a result of merger. In addition, LLIT will sell its equity holdings. So I honestly don't care that they have these equity holdings in Lian Luo Connection, medical wearable device technology. It's called Lian Luo Connection for short. And they're selling it to this other company called Fengen Times. And like for me, it doesn't matter. And the reason it doesn't matter is because there's a cash consideration of $0, nothing. And then it says Fengen Time is obligated to make a contribution of like 20 million or something, 12 million. I don't know how much this is, but it's far less than 87 million to the subsidiary that they're selling. So who cares? They're not getting it. And then company also agreed to convert the debt owed to aggregate. So this makes it a little more relevant. 11 million into paid up capital. Paid up capital is basically the capital they're getting in return for shares. So usually this would mean that okay, LLIT will get some shares for debt owed to them, but it says this. It says upon completion of this position, the Luo Connection will be 100% owned by Fengen Times. So that means I'm 100% not interested in them selling this like side business that they have. Concurrent with the closing of the merger, company will have a public offering of common shares expected gross proceeds of 30 million. Offering is going to send the price down because of dilution. Okay, so that's bad news in this. It's probably why the stock fell so much. Maybe this is already built into the price. I didn't think of that, but yeah. How come it fell, right? So then it says shareholders' approval of eliminate the restructure. So the restructure is just the planned merger, right? Yes, that is correct. Okay, so the shareholders have to approve the merger. That's all it's saying. And then when they merge, they're going to have to eliminate the dual class share structure. And then they said to effectuate a reverse share split may be needed. That's scary. I don't want to hear that. So because there's so much dilution happening, well, I mean, reverse split is not their dilution. It's the opposite. But it's still scary. I don't know. I don't want to hear about reverse splits. I don't like reverse splits. So there's the public offering, and then there's also eliminating dual class share structure. Let me get into dual class share structure because that's important. So here's what. Where is it? Damn it. Where is it? Do I not have it here? Okay, no, I have it here. It says merger sub will merge with and into Newegg. Okay, that's cool. Newegg surviving the merger as a wholly owned subsidiary of LLIT. Cool. And then after the merger is over, the holders of all outstanding Class B common shares, because they have two classes, and warrants has elected to convert those shares into the same number of common shares. Duh. I mean, like, obviously I'd want that too. And then immediately prior, this is going to happen right before completion of merger. So this is not built into the share price. There will be a lot of dilution because the Class B shares are like pretty much half of the Class A shares. So whatever's trading on the NASDAQ, it's going to be kind of like, there's going to be dilution there. So that's why I was saying before, I was like, because there's going to be dilution, really listen to your technicals when you're trading the stock. Don't just jump in thinking it's going to be perfect. Be very careful. That's my advice. Okay, so and then it says shareholders' approval of the restructure. I already talked about that. Reverse split, maybe. Yeah, I already talked about that. LLIT intends to change. This is basic stuff. LLIT intends to change its name to Newegg Commerce. Super cool. Their board of directors officers will be replaced by that of Newegg. Also cool. And then, yeah, Newegg's a highly reputable, widely recognized name in the tech-focused e-commerce industry. It's an amazing company. I've bought stuff from them before. They're awesome. Merger sub will merge with and into Newegg. I think I talked about that crap. Sorry. Okay, this is interesting. So it says LLIT will issue approximately 363 million common shares to Newegg stockholders as the merger consideration. So what does that mean? How does that affect? It's like currently you got Class A shares, okay? Then you have Class B shares, which is kind of like half of this. And then you have this giant circle, which is basically the Newegg shareholders. So as a result of that, you're going to have 99.02% Newegg's current stockholders still have interest of the company. And we're going to have, if you're buying the shares from LLIT before the merger, it's going to be 1%. You're going to own 1% of the post-merger company. So LLIT's current value is like its share price times the number of shares outstanding. Number of shares outstanding, according to Finviz, is like 3 million, something like that, 3.18 million. So you times that by the current share price, that's about $6.30. Okay. So, I mean, this is all like, I mean, I'm just talking theoretically. It makes sense to me, but I'm sure someone else can maybe do a better job. I don't know. So that's about 18 million valuation, right, of the company. That makes sense. So then you also have this, Newegg, and then people are saying that it's like anywhere from like $3 billion to $6 billion company, somewhere around that area. So if we're getting, let's say, I'm gonna say I'm gonna just assume it's a $3 billion company, okay? Because that's what I read. I know that this gentleman or girl said that it's a $5.5 billion company after 30% fallen. Said Newegg in current market scenario could command a 20 billion market cap. Let's be conservative, okay? Let's just say it's 3 billion. I know that's not a lot. Let's just say it's 3 billion. Or okay, hold on. I'll pick a little bigger number. So let's say it's what's 18 million times 2? 36. $3.6 billion, okay? This is going to be very simple. So 3.6. So now you own, so after the merger is over, you're going to own 1% of a $3.6 billion company. Now what is 1%, or roughly 1% of a $3.6 billion company? It's 36 million. How many shares, like what is the current valuation? 18 million. So in theory, you could double your money. And that is the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope it all makes sense to you. I'm not talking about this because this just, or did I already talk about it? I don't know, but it's just not important to me. This was interesting. I didn't quite understand it. If somebody wants to put in the comments below, how Benchmark acting as a financial advisor, they said they provided a fairness opinion indicating merger consideration to be paid by the company is fair to shareholders of LLIT. So there's going to be merger consideration paid to the shareholders of LLIT. I'm confused about that. I don't know. Yeah. So key takeaway for me is like pay attention to technicals. Get my indicators if you want. If that's what it's gonna take, subscribe to my indicators. And then no, honestly, it's gonna be important. Use your technical analysis skills because there's gonna be dilution and it's gonna be scary. But other than that, this looks awesome. This looks really awesome. I think this will go to like 10. That's what I think. Maybe even more. Who knows? There's been some other predictions, but I don't like to predict unless I didn't think about this. But we can try to do one prediction at least. Oops, I took it away. Let me just get rid of stuff so we can have like a nice clean chart. It's loading. It's loading. So I'm going to give you a prediction based on Fibonacci levels. Okay, so it's saying it's predicting based on Fibonacci 7.3661. I should let you know that these are never exact, these predictions, the retracement predictions. And yeah, they usually far surpass or they'll go a bit lower. Yeah, I would say like in the long run, they usually far surpass these ones. So like if it's at 7.3661 there, it's probably gonna be like $8, $9, some sort of thing like that. So cool. That's all I wanted to say. Hope you enjoyed the video. Sorry it was so long. Peace out.